And welcome to Leeds Student TV's weekly news programme, The Essential. My name's Lucy Reid.
And I'm Tom Danbach. Coming up on today's programme, we look back at this year's biggest news stories from our student union, the university and the City of Leeds.
The headlines. A surprise announcement by the student exec as the union heads for a £20 million refurbishment. We discover some of the concerns voiced by societies who will be most affected by the plans.
We also take a look at the new Zero Tolerance to Sexual Harassment initiative being implemented throughout the union and the city.
And we report from the reopening of the infamous tequila nightclub, now known as Sambuca, which spread outrage last year over its freshers' rape video.
But first, a general meeting last week in Leeds University Union announced a £20 million upgrade to the building after student feedback prompted the secret project to be developed. Despite much praise for the renovation, some societies have raised concerns over the project, worried about potential disruption that building works may cause to their society. Shay Collins has the report.
Leeds University Union is the central hub of the student community, playing host to more than 200 societies, several restaurants, and even a stage. However, the student exec thinks the union could offer even more, as at an AGM this week, a £20 million upgrade was announced, listing significant changes to the foyer, Riley Smith Hall, and even a brand new arts centre. However, not all students are looking forward to the changes, as some believe the refurbishment will only cause inconveniences across the building. The Stage Musical Society have voiced a cause for concern regarding disruptions to the Riley Smith Hall, claiming if they have nowhere to rehearse, the society will have nothing to perform in 2016.
They're making these wonderful changes and it'll be fantastic in the long run. You know, the Riley is going to be amazing and the plans are great, but if we don't have the space to perform and to rehearse, we won't have anything to put on in these wonderful spaces when they exist.
Dealing with the future disruptions is unavoidable, but Bradley Escorcio, the union's affairs officer pushing the project, explains the importance of using the union's complex space to its full potential.
I think it's going to really improve both the kind of navigation of the union, but also the use of the space and making it more efficient as well. So I'm really excited for, once it's all completed, that students will be able to have the best time possible here.
But it isn't just students who are excited about the refurbishment. The union executive, Aidan Grills, has been planning this intricate surprise for over 4 years now. Eager to show the future changes to the union, Aidan guides us through the foundations to creating the £20 million idea.
I'm most excited about the foyer, actually. I think the foyer in itself is going to become a real hub of activity on the campus. It already is. The Union building is already seen very much as a crossroads of the campus. But what you're going to be able to have now is, I think, a space that is less stressful to walk through, less stressful to navigate through, and you're going to be able to see where you want to go through the Union building. So a much better welcome for new students, for existing students, and for all visitors to the campus. The Union building will really represent the hub in the centre of the campus. Every bit of the union will be touched in some ways by this scheme. We're very excited by the opportunity it gives us, not just for our performing groups, but for all students to be able to really get a better experience from LUU.
With any refurbishment, disruptions and rejections are inevitable, but after speaking to Bradley and Aidan, it is expected the £20 million will empower students and drive our union into the future. Shay Collins, The Essential.
The union has promised zero tolerance to sexual harassment at union events. In reaction to the pledge, staff have been given extra training to help deal with the sexual harassment situations.
This month sees the introduction of Leeds University Union's Zero Tolerance to Sexual Harassment pledge. The scheme, which is set to be implemented at venues across Leeds, aims to train club staff in how to deal with sexual harassment.
So the pledge is making sure that students are safe within campus, but also the city centre as well. And it's making sure that people know what sexual harassment is and how to deal with any situation.
And so far, the pledge seems to be showing encouraging results, with many clubs across the city signing up. But what exactly constitutes as sexual harassment?
Sexual harassment really is any incident of a sexual nature that makes you feel uncomfortable. So it could be the more physical acts that people seem to be more aware of.
Future plans hope to build on the successes of the scheme so that it can reach out to more than just club staff, educating students as well.
we've been sort of in discussions about how we might like to extend this to student workshops on consent, and really raising the awareness to students of what constitutes sexual harassment.
With the implementation of the new pledge, students can hope to feel safer from the fear of sexual harassment in and around Leeds and its bars and clubs. Johnny McGuigan reporting for The Essential.
In other news now, should students vote? A debate held on Thursday the 5th of February in the Union foyer ahead of the general election. The question has been raised following low levels of student engagement when it comes to voting at election time. Freya Govus and Tom Dixon, Welfare and Education Officers for the Student Exec, were amongst those on the panel. The event was held in conjunction with the National Voter Registration Day. Last Thursday saw the launch of Sambuca at Sin nightclub, formerly known as Mez. It has been suggested that the new evening is a rebranding of Tequila, a night whose promotional video caused controversy last year. It included questions such as "How will you violate a fresher tonight?" and replies including "She's going to get raped." The night appears to have no direct connection to tequila, but association is teased by the tagline, "Who needs tequila when you can have Sambuca?" Despite this, promoters are keen to reassure clubbers that tequila is not coming back any time soon.
It's a similar vibe to tequila with the atmosphere, but there's no body shots, no nothing like that. No, we don't degrade like women or anything like that in any way, shape or form.
After much debate over current policies on illegal drugs, we go around the university asking students whether they believe drugs should be legalised. Lucy asks this week's essential question.
Hello and welcome to this week's Essential Question. We'll be going around Leeds University Union, finding out what the students think about whether the government should consider legalising the use of illicit drugs, such as cannabis and ecstasy.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll increase the amount of people that will do it.
I mean, pretty much everyone I know takes
everyone
apart from her.
No, I think it's a good idea because you can more easily trace usage and help people that need it, whereas when it's all covered up, it's really hard to know what's going on, let alone help anyone.
I think people would use it more than they do already, because to be honest, almost everyone I know has tried it at some point.
So it's clear that opinions are split on such a contentious topic, but for now, Leeds University students have had their say on whether they think the government should legalise the use of illicit drugs. I'm Lucy Reid, and this is The Essential Question.
Hello and welcome to The Essential's General Election Special. With the forthcoming general election on May the 7th, The Essential wanted to find out the current popularity of the main political parties in and around Leeds University. Out of 100 participants, Labour seems to be the most popular party, gaining 32% of the vote. Perhaps unsurprisingly, due to the rise in tuition fees since the last general election, the Liberal Democrats seem the least popular of the main three parties, gaining 3% of the vote. Conservatives gained 14%, while contrary to public opinion polls, the Greens sneak just ahead with 16% of the vote. Likewise, while UKIP seems to be securing a stronghold amongst opinion polls, our research suggests otherwise, with no votes being given to the party. Despite these results, many students are still unsure about which party they will vote for, with 28% not aligning to any political party at this period in time. This may correspond with figures that suggest a staggering 53% of students believe that party policies do not cater to their needs, and only 16% believing they do. Over the next few months, we'll see how the 2015 campaign will accommodate to the needs of students, in the hope of persuading them to turn out at the ballot box on May the 7th.
And finally, as we move further into February with the onset of some very cold weather approaching, we take a look at this week's weather. We're joined by Billy Trustwell, who's got the latest for you.
Hello, my name is Billy Trustwell with this week's weather for The Essential. On Wednesday we have highs of 8 and lows of 4. We can expect rain, so have those brollies at the ready. On Thursday it's getting a little cooler with highs of 7 and lows of 3, so make sure you wrap up warm. Friday will be sunnier but with similar temperatures to the day before. This weekend it isn't quite barbecue weather yet. We're looking at sunny spells with highs of 10 degrees Celsius. That's all for this week. I've been Billy with your local weather update.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's special edition of The Essential. And if you have any news stories for us, or if you want to watch any past reports, head over to our website, lstv.co.uk/The Essential.
Alternatively, go onto Twitter and mention us at LSTV The Essential. But for now, do remember, if it's going on
in
or around your union, it's essential.